My girlfriend said, "Stop crying about your mom's cancer. You're ruining my Vegas vibe." I replied, "You're right." Then I canceled our Vegas tickets, canceled her credit card, and changed the locks. Her frantic, hysterical call from the airport gate when she was denied boarding. I, 32 male, am writing this from my childhood bedroom at my parents' house. Not because I have to, but because I need to be here. My world imploded about 72 hours ago, and the fallout is just beginning. My mom has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. She's been fighting for a year, but we got the call on Tuesday that the chemo failed. The doctor was gentle, using words like palliative and comfort. My dad, a man I've seen cry twice in my life, broke down on the phone. I was a wreck. I'm still a wreck. My girlfriend of 3 years, Corinne, 29, lives with me in my condo. Her reaction to my mom's initial diagnosis was lacking. She was sympathetic for a day, then annoyed that I wasn't bouncing back fast enough. Our sex life tapered off because I was, understandably, depressed. She complained I wasn't taking her on enough dates. But Tuesday was the breaking point. We had this trip to Vegas planned for this weekend. It was for her 30th birthday, a huge deal for her. I'd booked non-refundable flights on my card, a suite at a high-end hotel, dinner reservations, the works, all on my dime as usual. She works part-time in marketing but spends most of her money on clothes and brunch. I've always been the provider, which I was fine with when things were good. I was in my home office, off the phone with my dad, just staring at the wall and silently crying. We were discussing hospice. Corinne walked in, already in a bad mood. She was holding a sequin dress up to herself in the mirror. "Are you still moping?" she asked. Not "what's wrong," not "how's your dad," but still moping. "I just got off the phone with my dad," I said, my voice hoarse. They're stopping treatment, Corinne. It's hospice now." She let out a long, theatrical sigh, the kind you let out when your barista gets your phone wrong. "Leo, I know, it's sad, I get it, but we are supposed to be packing. My 30th is in 2 days. I've been looking forward to this for months." I just stared at her. I couldn't form words. She huffed again. "Look, I'm sorry about your mom, okay? I really am. But you've been a total black cloud for weeks. You need to snap out of it." She threw the dress on the bed and crossed her arms. "Seriously, stop crying about your mom's cancer. You're ruining my Vegas vibe." I'll never forget that. Ruining her Vegas vibe. Something in my head it wasn't anger. It was silence. Like a circuit breaker flipped. The grief, the stress, the sadness, it all just crystallized into this cold, quiet clarity. I looked at her. I'm sure my eyes were red. "You're right," I said. My voice was monotone. "My mistake." She blinked, surprised by the lack of a fight. Then she smiled. A smug, satisfied little smile. "Good," she said, patting my shoulder. "See? Now I'm going to go get my nails done for the flight. We leave at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Try to pull yourself together. I want to have fun." She grabbed her purse and left. I sat there for maybe 10 minutes. Then I opened my laptop. Step 1. The trip. I logged into the airline's website, found our booking. The tickets were non-refundable, but they were convertible to a travel credit. In the name of the original purchaser, me, I clicked Cancel Reservation. A $1,200 credit was instantly added to my account. Next, the hotel. My deposit was lost, but I canceled the remaining nights. I ate the $400 deposit. It was worth it. Step 2, the finances. I logged into my credit card account. Corinne was an authorized user on my Platinum card. It's what she used for, well, everything. Her Vegas outfit budget, her nails, her Starbucks. I clicked her name. Report card lost, stolen, or deactivate? I chose deactivate authorized user. A pop-up asked for a reason. I typed no longer authorized. Click. Done. Step 3, the home. It's my condo. I bought it 5 years before I met her. Her name is on nothing. Not the mortgage, not the utilities, not the lease. There is no lease. She's a long-term guest, a guest who is no longer welcome. I called a 24-hour locksmith. "Hi, I need an emergency rekey on my front door and deadbolt. I had a security compromise. How soon can you be here?" He said an hour. Step 4, the stuff. 2 a.m. I couldn't look at her things. I called my sister Maya. She lives 10 minutes away. I told her what happened. The string of curse words she unleashed would have made a sailor blush. "I'm coming over," she said, "with boxes and wine." By the time the locksmith arrived at 8:30 p.m., Maya was already there, methodically and furiously packing Corinne's 800 pairs of shoes and endless supply of beauty products. "You go be with Mom and Dad," she ordered me. "I'll handle this." The locks were changed by 9 p.m. Maya finished packing everything into 28 boxes and 4 suitcases. She paid the building super $100 to move them into the secure storage unit in the basement. I drove to my parents' house. I held my mom's hand until she fell asleep. I finally cried again, for the right reasons. My phone started buzzing at 6:45 a.m. the next morning. I was asleep on the couch. It was Corinne. I let it go to voicemail. It rang again and again. On the 6th call, I picked up. I put it on speaker. My dad and Maya were both in the kitchen drinking coffee. They looked at me. Leo, what did you do?" The hysteria was immediate. She was screaming. I could hear the airport announcements in the background. "Good morning, Corinne." "My ticket, it's gone. The lady at the counter said the reservation was canceled. She said I'm not on the flight." "That's correct, I canceled the trip." "You what?" "My birthday, my Vegas trip. You can't, I'm at the airport. I tried to buy a new ticket, and my card was declined. My card, Leo, the one you gave me, it was declined at Starbucks and at the ticket counter." "What is going on?" I took a sip of coffee. "I deactivated your authorized user card. It's my account, Corinne. I'm not paying for things anymore." There was a long, stunned, whistling silence. Then a shriek that probably made TSA agents reach for their sidearms. You bastard. I'm coming back to the apartment right now. You're gonna pay for this." You're psycho." "Don't bother," I said, my voice still quiet. "The locks are changed." "You what?" "The locks are changed. Your things are in 28 boxes and 4 suitcases in the building's basement storage unit. My sister Maya will coordinate with you to schedule a pickup time. Do not try to come to my parents' house." You can't do that. I live there. You can't just kick me out. I'll call the cops. I'll sue you." "You don't live there, Corinne. You were a guest, and your stay is over. My mom is dying. I'm going to go sit with her now. Goodbye." I hung up. Her number blew up my phone for the next hour. Texts, calls, voicemails. I just blocked the number. Then, about an hour later, a new number called. I answered. It was her mother, Brenda. "Leo, honey," she said in this fake sweet voice. "Corinne just called me. She's hysterical. There must be some terrible misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding, Brenda. I ended the relationship." "But her things? You locked her out?" "Leo, that's not legal. You have to let her in. She needs her clothes. And you canceled her cards? How is she supposed to live? She's at the airport with no money." "She's an adult, Brenda. She can get an Uber. She has a job. I'm sure she has her own debit card." You know she doesn't make that much. You always took care of her. Leo, this is cruel. After all we did for you, welcoming you into our family, and right before her birthday? You know how much this trip meant to her. The entitlement. It was staggering. "Brenda, my mother is in hospice. Corinne told me to stop crying about it because I was ruining her vibe. The conversation is over. I'm blocking your number now." I did. I'm now sitting here waiting, not for her, but for the hospice nurse to arrive. The drama feels small and pathetic, but I know it's not over. She's not going to let this go. Update 1, it's been about a week. My mom she's still here. She's weak, but she's lucid, and we're spending every second we can with her. Thank you for all the kind words. It means more than you know. The Korean situation unfortunately escalated exactly as I expected. 2 days after the airport incident, I had to go back to my condo to pick up some documents for my parents and get some more clothes. My sister Maya insisted on coming with me, which, thank God she did. As I was pulling into my parking garage, a car I didn't recognize peeled out and blocked me. It was Corinne in her best friend Tasha's car. Tasha was in the passenger seat filming me with her phone. Corinne jumped out, face streaked with mascara. "Leo, you can't ignore me. You have to talk to me," she screamed, banging on my window. I put the car in park. Maya just shook her head and started recording on her own phone. "Don't get out," she said. "Let me in my apartment." Corinne shrieked. "You have my things. You stole my things." "Corinne, I texted you," I said through the closed window. "Your things are in storage. Maya will coordinate a pickup. You're trespassing." "It's my home. I'll have you arrested." This went on for about 10 minutes. Her friend Tasha yelling, "Yeah, Leo, you're an abuser," while Corinne tried to pull on my car door handle. Finally, I just called building security. They came down and told her to leave the private garage. She refused, so they called the police. A patrol car showed up about 20 minutes later. 2 officers, one older, looked tired. One younger, looked annoyed. Corinne immediately ran to them, bursting into fake sobs. "Officers, thank God. My ex-boyfriend locked me out of my apartment. He kicked me out with nothing. He stole all my property. He's abusing me." The older officer sighed. "Ma'am, please calm down. Let's get his side." They walked over to my car. I rolled down the window. "Sir, what's going on here? This young lady says you illegally evicted her." "Good afternoon, officers," I said calmly. Maya was still recording, which the younger cop noted. "This is my condo. I am the sole owner." I pulled my driver's license with the address and my mortgage statement from the glove box and handed them over. "Miss Corinne was my girlfriend. She lived with me as a guest. She is not on the mortgage or any utilities. I ended our relationship on Wednesday. Her belongings were packed and moved to a secure storage unit on site. I have repeatedly offered to coordinate a time for her to pick them up with my sister as a witness. She has refused." Corinne screeched, "He's lying. I paid rent." The younger cop looked at her. "Did you, ma'am? Can you show us a check, a bank transfer, a lease agreement?" "Well, no," Corinne sputtered. I paid for groceries and I decorated. That counts." The older cop handed me back my papers. "Sir, you're right. She's not a tenant. This is a civil matter, not a criminal one." "Ma'am," he said, turning to Corinne, "you need to leave the property. He has offered to return your belongings. You need to arrange a time with his sister, like he said. If you stay here, we will arrest you for trespassing." The color drained from her face. Tasha had stopped recording. "But my stuff." "Arrange a time," the cop said slowly. "Now, get in your car and leave." They fumed. Corinne got one last parting shot in. "You'll be hearing from my lawyer, Leo. You stole from me." They finally left. Maya and I went up. The apartment was so quiet. It was peaceful. But the entitlement didn't stop. The next day, Maya got a text. "I'm picking up my stuff. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I'm bringing my mom and Tasha." Maya replied, "Fine. You and one other person will be met in the lobby. You will not be allowed in the condo. You will be escorted to the storage unit. You can load your things, and then you will leave. I will be there with a witness." The next day, I was at my parents'. Maya went with our dad's friend, Al, a guy who is about 6'5" and looks like he eats rocks for breakfast, but is the gentlest person I know. Apparently, Corinne, her mom Brenda, and Tasha all showed up. Al and Maya met them in the lobby. Brenda immediately started. "This is ridiculous. You're treating my daughter like a criminal. After all she did for Leo." Maya, who has zero patience for this, just held up a clipboard. "Here is the inventory list. 28 boxes, 4 suitcases. You'll be escorted to the unit. You load your own stuff. Once you have it, you sign this paper confirming receipt, and you leave." They went down. They started loading. And then, the dirty trick I was waiting for. "Where is it?" Corinne said, her voice dangerously quiet. "Where is what?" Maya asked. "My laptop, my brand new MacBook Pro, the silver one." Maya was confused. "Your laptop is in box 12 marked electronics. It's your old white one." "No," Corinne shrieked. "My new one, the one I bought for the trip. It was in the bedroom. You stole it." Brenda pounced. "She stole it. Maya, you thief. That's a $2,000 computer. We're calling the cops again." Maya just looked at her. "Corinne, there was no new laptop in that room. I packed every single thing. Are you sure you're not mistaken?" "I am not mistaken." And then Tasha, the friend, made the fatal mistake. "Oh my God, Corinne, just tell them. It's not like it matters now." Corinne looked like she'd been slapped. "Tell them what?" Maya asked. Corinne looked at Brenda, then at Maya. The bill. It was on his card, the one he canceled." It all clicked for Maya. You bought a $2,000 laptop on Leo's credit card, knowing you were just an authorized user? He always pays." Corinne screamed, her face red. It was an early birthday present. He owes me, and now you've stolen it, and he canceled the card so I can't even pay for it. He's ruined my credit." She doesn't understand how authorized users work. It doesn't affect her credit, it's just my bill. Maya actually laughed. "Let me get this straight. You're angry because you tried to stick my brother with a $2,000 bill for a laptop he didn't know about, and you're mad because... What? We didn't find the laptop you must have? What? Had delivered somewhere else? Hidden? Corinne and Brenda just stared, caught. The laptop, it turns out, was at Tasha's house. She'd had it shipped there, probably so I wouldn't see the package. She was just trying to see if she could claim we stole it and stick me with the bill. All just crossed his arms. Take your boxes and go. They loaded the rest in furious silence, threw the signed paper at Maya and peeled out. I thought that would be the end of it. I really did. I was so naive. Update 2. This is hard to write. My mom passed away 3 days ago. She went peacefully in her sleep. My dad, Maya, and I were all there. The last 2 weeks have been a blur of grief and just emptiness. The funeral was yesterday. I've never felt so hollowed out. And in the midst of this, the world's most pathetic, entitled drama continued. About a week before Mom passed, I got a certified letter. My hands were shaking, thinking it was something medical. It was from a lawyer. Corinne was threatening to sue. She was demanding $2,500 for the MacBook Pro, a promised gift he refused to pay for, $1,200 for the value of the Las Vegas trip, $5,000 for emotional distress and illegal eviction, and $800 for a ceramic heron. I stared at that last one. A ceramic heron. A tacky, blue-glazed bird statue that I bought at a home goods store for $40 because she liked its vibe. She was now claiming it was a priceless family art piece that my sister had intentionally destroyed during the move. Maya confirmed it was in the knickknacks box, wrapped in bubble wrap. I just handed the letter to my dad, who was sitting at the kitchen table. He read it. His face, already etched with grief, tightened. "Don't worry about this, son," he said. "This is just noise. Focus on your mother. I'll handle it." My dad, it turns out, has a lawyer on retainer for his business. He forwarded the letter with a one-sentence email. "Handle this garbage." The lawyer sent back a response so scathing it probably singed the mailman's eyebrows. It outlined in brutal legal detail that Corinne, as a non-tenant, had 0 eviction rights, that promised gifts are not legally enforceable, and the $2,500 charge on my credit card was, in fact, potential financial fraud. That I, as the purchaser of the tickets, had every right to cancel my own purchase. That we had a signed inventory list for all her items, including the priceless $40 heron. And finally, that if she or her attorney contacted me or my family again while we were in bereavement, we would pursue a restraining order and sanctions for harassment. We heard nothing after that. The funeral came and went. I was standing by my mom's graveside and my phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. It was Tasha, the friend. "Leo, I know you probably hate us, but I had to. Corinne she's not right. She's telling everyone you are the monster, that you used your mom's cancer as an excuse to dump her and steal her money. I can't be around it anymore. She's toxic. I'm sorry for my part in this. I'm so sorry about your mom." I just stared at the text, used it as an excuse. But the real justice, if you can even call it that, came this morning. It's the only reason I'm even writing this update. I got a call from Corinne, from jail. I almost didn't answer, but the call was from the county booking number. I picked up, morbidly curious. Leo, you have to help me. You have to bail me out." She was sobbing hysterically. What happened, Corinne?" It's Brenda, my mom. We had a fight about the laptop. The bill came. I couldn't pay it. It's on my card. I opened a new card to buy it and I can't pay it. I was confused. What does that have to do with... She said I had to return it. I told her I couldn't. I'd already used it and she tried to take it, to return it herself. And I pushed her. I pushed her, Leo, and she fell. She hit her head on the coffee table and she called the cops. She called the cops on me. She was wailing. They arrested me. Domestic something. Assault. Leo, please, you have to call Brenda. Tell her to drop the charges. She'll listen to you, please. The sheer galactic level entitlement to call me, the man whose vibe she was worried about while his mother was dying, to ask me to save her from her own mother, who she assaulted over the laptop she tried to steal from me. I was quiet for a very long time. Leo, are you there? Please, it's cold in here. No, Corinne. No what? Please, Leo, I'll pay you back for everything. I love you. I made a mistake, a terrible. No, I will not be helping you. Not now, not ever. Do not call me again, we are done. But I get one phone call, you can't. I hung up. I blocked the booking number. My sister just came in. She heard my side of it. She did what? I told her. She was silent for a moment, then she said, well, sounds like she finally ruined someone else's vibe. I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. I'm just empty. My mom is gone. And the person I spent 3 years loving is a black hole of entitlement, so dense, she's finally collapsing under her own weight. There's no grand revenge here. I didn't have to do anything. I just stepped out of the way. And she and her mother and her entire life just imploded. I'm gonna go sit on the porch with my dad. I'm done with this. It's finally actually over. Final update. It's been 6 months. Life goes on. The grief for my mom is still there. It's not a wound anymore, it's more like a scar. It's part of me. My dad and I have gotten closer than ever. We're getting through it together. I'm writing this last one because I feel like I owe it to everyone who sent kind words, and because the final, pathetic chapter just closed. Corinne's domestic assault charge against her mother, Brenda, was eventually pleaded down to a misdemeanor with probation and mandatory anger management. Brenda, apparently, refused to testify against her daughter, go figure. But the DA pushed it through based on the 911 call and her injuries. The real justice came from small claims court. Yes, she actually did it. Even after her arrest, her lawyer, a different, cheaper-looking one, filed a small claims suit. She had dropped the illegal eviction and emotional distress. Her lawyer probably told her that was a loser, but she was still suing me for $2,500, the MacBook, $1,200, the Vegas trip, $800, the priceless heroin. I showed up. I didn't even need a lawyer for this. I just brought my binder. I wore a decent suit. I felt calm. Corinne was there with Brenda. Tasha was nowhere to be seen. I heard through the grapevine she'd moved 2 states away to get away from Corinne. Corinne looked rough. She'd gained weight, her hair was a mess, and she looked perpetually angry. The judge called our case. Corinne went first. She gave this tearful, practiced speech about how I was a controlling partner, how I'd promised her a birthday trip and this new laptop for her career, and then, in a fit of rage, took it all away. She claimed I'd locked her out and intentionally destroyed her family art. She never once mentioned my mother. Then it was my turn. Your Honor, I started, and my voice was steady. This isn't about a fit of rage, it's about a breaking point. I laid out my binder. Point 1, the trip and the laptop. Here is my credit card statement from the month before the trip. As you can see, I paid a $3,400 balance, which included Miss Corinne's plane tickets and other expenses. Here is the statement for the next month. I pointed to the charge. This $2,500 charge for a MacBook Pro was made 2 days before our trip. I was never consulted. Miss Corinne was an authorized user, not a joint owner. She purchased this expensive item on my credit line without my permission, assuming I would pay for it, just as I had paid for everything else. Point 2, the vibe. The day I canceled the trip, Your Honor, my family and I were making the decision to move my mother into hospice care. The judge's expression changed. Corinne and Brenda just stared at the table. When I informed Miss Corinne of this, her response was, and I have a recording of her friend Tasha confirming this in a voicemail, if you'd like to hear it, was that I needed to stop crying about my mom's cancer because I was ruining her Vegas vibe. The judge just looked at Corinne. For a solid 10 seconds. Is that true, ma'am? Corinne sputtered. It was. I was upset. He was ruining my birthday. The judge's face was stone. Go on, sir. Point 3, the heron. As for the $800 ceramic heron, here's the original box it came in, which my sister kept. I pulled out the box, which had the home goods store logo on it. And here is my bank statement from 2 years ago, showing the $40 purchase from that store. It's not a family art piece, it was a knick-knack. The judge looked at the receipt, then at the box, then back at Corinne. Ma'am, the judge said, you are wasting this court's time. You are attempting to profit from a man's profound personal tragedy. You lived in his home, rent-free. You used his credit card as your personal bank account, and when he was at his lowest, you berated him. And now you are here under oath, lying about a $40 statue. Corinne was bright red. Case dismissed, with prejudice. Then the judge looked at me. And sir, I am truly, deeply sorry for your loss. Brenda started to screech outside the courtroom. You humiliated her. You lied. You're a monster. I just looked at Corinne. All the hate, the anger, the pain, it was gone. I felt nothing. Just pity. She was pathetic. A 30-year-old woman living with her mom, in debt for a laptop she couldn't afford, with a criminal record, still screaming that everyone else was the problem. I just walked away. I didn't say a word. I heard from that same mutual friend that Corinne is now working as a cashier at a craft store. Brenda is apparently garnishing her wages to pay for the damage Corinne did to her house during their fight and for the legal fees. My life isn't a movie. I'm not healed. I miss my mom every single day. But my condo is quiet. My life is simple. My dad and Maya and I have dinner every Sunday. I'm starting to think about dating again, but I'm in no rush. The revenge wasn't some grand complicated plan. It was just dropping the rope. I let go. And she and all her entitlement fell right into the consequences she'd built for herself. I'm finally free. And that's enough.
I've been training for like 20 years.
You're like trying to get bulky, and you're like, it's hard.
It's funny. I'm like, they come out of nowhere like, well, if I do this for like even a few months, I'm just going to get so big and bulky. I'm like, it is so hard to put on muscle. It just doesn't happen that way.
It's so hard. And I think that so what happens sometimes is women will build muscle, but they won't be losing the fat on top of the muscle. So they'll feel overall bigger because they're gaining overall mass, even though their body composition has improved. Their ratio of lean mass to fat mass has improved, but they feel like they're overall bigger. So that's where diet comes in. And because a lot of people lean on exercise, I think way too much to like lose fat and lose weight. And they're not being considerate of how they're eating. And so they're gaining fat because they're in a calorie surplus, and they're also building muscle. So they feel bigger overall. So I think it's kind of two separate conversations that you need to have with yourself is like, how am I eating? And then also, how am I training to build muscle?